Coming back the first day, I was just very excited to see everyone. I was really psyched to see Courtney and David and Wes and the crew. And we're very much like a family now, you know. Yeah, 15 years is a long time, so it's like a big reunion. Sydney, Gail, Dewey, I think they're characters that audiences are fond of and we're fond of. It's funny, you start to have a relationship with the characters that you play after a long time because you know their history and you feel an affinity, obviously, for them. And so it's just fun. It's fun working with Courtney and David. I think they're hilarious together, and their characters are sweet and wonderful and yeah, funny in a lot of ways. So it's great. Sydney, at the beginning of the film, is on a book tour. She's written a book, and she's written a book about overcoming trauma. She's come to a different place in her life and has come to accept what happened to her, but has found a way of dealing with her history, and has chosen to try and help people who might have a similar history in some way. So that's her at the beginning of the film on this book tour, and then obviously trouble ensues. So. I just love the man. I think he's, you know, I used to say he's one of the best directors I'd ever worked with, and he still is. Like, he just creates an amazing atmosphere on set. He obviously is a master at these kinds of films, really knows how to entertain an audience and scare an audience and do it with wit and with class. And he runs a great crew, and everyone admires him, and everyone respects him, and he keeps a nice calm atmosphere on the set, and he gives beautiful direction.
I am having fun bringing Dewey back to life. He's definitely part of my personality. There's an aspect of him that I think I draw a lot of my comedy from anyway. It's a funny part of my personality. Dewey thinks he's Clint Eastwood. That's where he's always kind of like, but he doesn't really follow through with the whole tough guy thing, but he tries. When Wes is directing and throwing in those moments of like thrill and scare and suspense, it makes those little comedic human moments really shine. I love working with Courtney like in a production company atmosphere, like as we usually do, but also as an actress. She's such a thrill to work against. You know, everyone's playing it really real. That's the thing about the Scream movies. You have to find the humor within the characters, within the scenes, you know, as you always should, but it has to be grounded because, you know, there's a spoof film that's a film of what's happening, but these have to be really like, you know, you really have to believe it. So even though they both have really great comedic talents, you kind of have to play it straight to a certain degree. To be working as an actor, you know, on a great film with an amazing cast and crew that I've grown up with half of them, it's really, you don't get this experience that often in this business, that you're working with people that you've worked with for 16 straight years, you know. It's something special. So I'm definitely in a place where I feel blessed to be here and respectful and so thankful.
She's just going through a major writer's block. She's written 6 stab books, and now she's got nothing. She has nothing to say. She's in this small town of Woodsboro, which she moved to be with Dewey, and she's pretty unhappy, and she's not that pleased with him, and it's just kind of, life's dull. And then some murders happen, and it just reignites everything about her. She's excited. If you're a horror fan, then you're, I think, always a horror fan.
And if you like the other Screams, this is going to be a great one. It's like a return to the first.
Yeah. No, they've talked about it for years and years, so, you know, people always talk about bringing things back, but this was one that I was hoping would come back one day, just because we had such a great time making the first 3. And, you know, I think it's been long enough to where the people want to see what happened, or see it all over again. But it's going to be able to have a whole new group of fans, though, because the people who watched the first 3 are now our age. It's going to be different. We have a crop of young kids in this movie. He's just so sweet and calm, and through all of any pressures that might come about during his day, he just handles them so smoothly, and, you know, he's just so funny too, and he's very dry, and It makes me laugh. I mean, he's done so many movies, so many scary movies, and I'll say, Wes, what do you think? How would I react if someone came up to me and you know, if they came up by me with a knife and they stabbed me? He's like, well, I don't, you know, Courteney, it's never happened to me. Okay, well, what about the 80 movies that you made? How did it go with those people? But he's funny, really funny.
Scream was also one of my favorites. Not just saying that, it really was. I loved it. So to get to be a part of it it's really surreal. You know, like I think I was probably like 14 or 15 when I saw the first one, and I never would have thought that I would be, you know, on the set of the fourth one 5 years later. I mean, that's crazy. It's amazing. This is her fourth Scream, and she still has that like little girl giddiness to her when we're on set, which is really unbelievable because you feel like, you know, someone like her who's done so many would be bored of it, and she acts like it's the first one. She's just always so, I don't know, just fun and fresh, and she's beautiful. She looks the same as she did in the first one. I'm like, what kind of face lotion do you use? Hayden and I have so much fun together. I mean, I love doing scenes with her. I think she's so talented and just so beautiful, and we just have fun together. I don't know, we're always chatting and laughing off set and on set, and it's nice to have someone that you like feel close with around, especially when you're shooting far away from home, like long hours. It's nice to have someone that you can be like, I want to come over and hang. I'm lonely, so that's nice. I was so happy about how welcoming everyone was, and Wes is just so easy to work with, and he always has just the greatest ideas that you never would have thought of, and Ia is just always there, and I think she has a great vision for everything, and also brings such great ideas, and she's really easy to talk to if you have any questions about anything.
I was excited. It was something that I always wanted to do, but I knew it had to be the right one. And for Scream 4 to come around, and for Wes Craven to be directing, and for the whole original cast to be back, and for it to be this one, and to work with the wine scenes, it was very exciting. You can just see it in his eyes. He just loves being on set. He loves working with actors. He loves getting those shots. He loves figuring out the scenes, every moment of it, every moment. And he sets an amazing tone on set. It's not only this physical game, but it's this mental game. And it's survival of the fittest. You're running for your life. So it's a bunch of twists and turns and guesses. And people gotta be very savvy. Keep watching. Make your decision. It's a roller coaster.
It's cool. It's cool to be a part of like that generation, because I feel like Scream sort of is a part of some of the movies that define the 90s, and you know, that's my generation, so it's an honor to be a part of it. He has so much input, and he has so much vision for what he wants out of a scene. It's really incredible. He'll just, you know, throw everything aside just to make sure that those moments are real and that he's getting what he needs. And I think that as an actor, you feel so much confidence in working with someone like that it's just a really great environment and a great process. Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, they're paired up again, and they did the original, so I'm sure, you know, they're just gonna keep doing a great job with Scream 4.
I'm the black guy in the film. Contrary to popular belief, I don't die first, second, or third in the movie. But you know, I'm Deputy Perkins. I work for Sheriff Dewey, portrayed by David Arquette, and we're out here to solve this murder mystery in Woodsboro. And you never know who's doing this. It could be one of us, and you know, from the way the script is unfolding and what's been happening, no one knows who the killer is. So we're all on pins and needles and suspicious of everyone. I enjoy working with David because he's just such a live wire and free spirit, and he's willing to try anything and to go anywhere that he deems fit for his character and for the piece. So that's what I like about Dave. Yeah, I was excited that everybody was coming back on board, you know, and Neve's, you know, she's such a great actress and just a great person. And, you know, I'm a fan of the series, a fan of everybody's work individually as well outside of this. So it was easy for me to say yes to come on board and be a part of this. You know, there are a lot of twists and turns, and you know, hold on to your seat because, you know, we're going to take you on a nice little roller coaster ride. But, you know, that's about as much as I can say to you or to anyone who would ask me about that.
I played Deputy Ross Haas and partner with Anthony Perkins, played by Anthony Anderson, and we're under the supervision of Deputy Dewey, Sheriff Dewey now, not deputy anymore, and yeah, it's kind of like we have our own cop movie in the background going on. I was really excited because when I got to finally see the script, my question was, well, who would I be with the whole time? And when I heard it was Anthony, I was excited. I'm a fan of his work. I think he's a funny guy, so I thought, all right, I'll ride along with him. Equally as surreal to work with David Arquette playing Deputy Dewey now Sheriff Dewey, was working with Courteney and Neve reprising their roles. And to be in Woodsboro watching this go down, these scenes go down, it's funny.
I play Rebecca Walters. She works for Sydney, and she's very ambitious. She's a little go-getter. She loves Gail Weathers. She sort of, I think, looks up to her, kind of wants to be her. She's a very fun character to play. A lot of the emotions that my character is feeling, you know, I'm feeling having been a fan of this franchise and of the character Gail Weathers, and also having been a fan of Friends, and again, you know, and Courteney Cox, I love her work, and she's great in everything she does. So it's funny, I have a scene with her where I talk about being a fan of hers, and I thought, oh, this is just art imitating life and and that sort of thing. So it's been fun. Wes is such a doll. I love him. He's so soft-spoken and just dear. He's really funny too, which I don't know that everyone would know that about him. It was a fun thing for me to discover because I was unaware of his humorous side, but he's quite funny. It's a great cast. The younger cast is really good, and really, I think the people that they've cast in it just shows that they have their finger on the pulse of the younger generation and what's going on with them and what they might want. It's a lot about the next generation, and also looking back at the ghosts that have existed for a long time. You know, it's Sydney trying to start a new path for herself, as well as, meanwhile, dragging in this next generation. So it's an interesting mesh of the old and the new and the past and the present and all of that sort of coming together in this resurgence of the movie.
I'm working with Courteney, David, and Neve. It's a very relaxed kind of family feel, and I think I know how to bring out the best in them, and they know how to bring out the best in me in a way, and the characters are known and they're rich, so it's a pleasure. Well, Dewey before was Deputy Dewey, and he was a little bit of a laughingstock. In this version, he is Joseph Whipp's character of Chief of Police is gone, and Dewey has become the head guy. So and also he is married to Gail Weathers now, who has deigned to move into life with him in this small town, which has its ups and its downs. And certainly she was used to much more life in the fast lane, and now is in this small little town. So she's chafing a bit at the restrictions and sort of encroaching boredom. And she also is depending on, she's always written about real events, and things have been quiet in the town for a long time. So she's kind of going a little bit cabin fever nuts. And then suddenly all these things start happening, so she wants to jump back into the fray. I think there's just immense amount of respect that goes back and forth between all of us. I mean, I know what all of their jobs are. I absolutely respect everything everybody does, and I think they all respect me and want me to get the picture I want. So it's just a group of people really tightly bound by time and history together, and skill sets that we can all do our best work together, and that's a great thing. She's just she's a wonderful talent, very, very smart, totally professional because she's been working since she was, I think, 3 inches high, and funny, and just brought an immense amount of substance to the character. Really, I think she's got to be a big star, if she's not already. So, yeah, she was a great pleasure. Hayden is a real powerhouse. Again, somebody who's worked since she's been a child, tremendous technical ability, able to bring enormous emotionality to something very quickly, smart, just so full of life and laughter and fun, and played this very difficult role of Emma's best friend, and really, again, just brought the picture up so much in her scenes that she's also already well known, as you say, but she just I think she just reaffirmed that she is just a really great actress, and wow, packed into a very small package, but wow, what a powerhouse. You have to come back with something that's worthy of coming back in a way. And you are addressing not only a whole new generation of young fans, but you're addressing a generation that has gone with you through 3 and then seen a decade worth of other films. So you have to be as good as or better than all those films. And you have to also, in order to live up to the standards of Scream, sort of analyze that decade and come up with something cogent and meaningful to say about it that's original. And trenchant is the word that comes to my mind, being an ex-English teacher, but being able to see through to the essence of the matter of the last 10 years of work in the horror film genre. The basic core idea of the twist of the story that is in this that is really quite amazing and makes it something completely new. It's like I read it and it's why didn't I ever think of that? That's amazing. And that is right at the core of this story. And I think that thing alone makes this really unique. But there's just a tremendous analysis of the last 10 years of horror. One of the opening scenes they're talking about torture porn and the way the internet and film have merged, what's going on in the world, what kind of generations have been sort of engendered by films of that sort and watching those sorts of film. It's really intellectually, artistically, and sort of scarily, really interestingly woven together in a way that's fresh and new.